Welcome back, folks. Lee Snyder from numberball.com back with you once again to talk Champions League Soccer. We have the round of 16 second leg ties kicking off this week with a two-match slate on DraftKings on Tuesday. Before I get into picks and bets, I just want to briefly go over these matches and give you a few pointers here. So, in the round of 16, these are two-leg ties. Each team gets to play at home once, and these are the second leg of the round of 16 ties. So it's very important to understand what the scoreline was in the first match and how that is going to dictate the tactics and match flow in these second leg ties. So let's talk about these two matches briefly. We have Juve minus 225 at home hosting Porto. Porto won the first leg of this at home 2-1. So that means Juve really needs to press the issue here. They need to score goals. And I think we should expect a Juve team that dominates possession and chances here, while Porto tries to play a bit more defensive and retain that lead they have from the first leg. Now, it's also important to remember that the away goal rule is in effect. What that means is away goals actually count more than home goals. So, for example, Juve lost 2-1 on the road, so they got one away goal. If they win 1-0 at home, although the aggregate will be 2-2, Juve would actually advance because they would have the only away goal if Porto fails to score at Juve. So just another important thing to keep in mind. Moving on to the second match, we have Borussia Dortmund hosting Sevilla. Dortmund got a 3-2 win on the road in the first leg of this tie. So again, that means Sevilla is the team behind here, and they are going to need to score goals. And again, just winning 1-0 is not going to be enough for them because of the away goal rule. Those three away goals that Dortmund got are very important. That means Sevilla needs to score at least 2 goals in this match to have a chance of going through. So, Sevilla should be the team pressing the issue. They should have more of the ball. Will probably be crossing a ton, and I'd look for Dortmund to be very dangerous on the counterattack. All right, let's go ahead and talk about specific plays. And we'll start at the forward position as always. And my top end play at forward is Ronaldo. Ronaldo really let us down in the first leg tie. But everything is on the line for Juve here. They need to score goals. They are now at home. And I cannot imagine that Ronaldo has another dud of a performance as he did in the first leg. He was just rested in Serie A as well. The great thing about Ronaldo is, given his typical shot volume, he has a floor of 10 plus points. And obviously, he is the most likely to score for Juve. He does have the highest implied scoring odds on this entire 2-game slate. Okay, second forward, I'm going to move down to what I would consider a value play. And I think there's a few strong options in the 7K range. They include Suso from Sevilla, Marco Reus, and Lucas Ocampos from Sevilla as well. Reus and Suso usually have a role on set pieces, which gives them a high floor, but both of them struggle to play more than 70 minutes at this point in their career. So that has me on Lucas Ocampos as a second forward play. He's probably Sevilla's most talented attacker. He is just returning from an injury, but he has over an 8-point DK floor, and he does take their penalties. So I like that combination of floor and upside from Ocampos at the forward position, especially in a match where we know that Sevilla does need to score goals. All right, moving on to the midfield position. My first play in the midfield position is Sergio Oliveira from Porto. And while Porto are going to be comfortable sitting back and playing a more defensive style in this match, Oliveira is just too good to pass up at his 6.1K price tag. He takes all of the set pieces for Porto, and he takes their PKs. Plus, I think it's also important to note that in these second leg ties, the match flow and strategy can change very, very quickly depending on which team scores. So if Juve scores an early goal to go up 1-0, then it's actually going to be Porto that need to press the issue and score goals. So I like Oliveira regardless of match flow. He's a very safe play, especially for cash or optimal builds. Okay, moving on to the second midfield play. This is going to be one that you're going to need to watch the Sevilla lineup for. But if Papu Gomez from Atalanta, now on Sevilla, if he gets a start for Sevilla, he's a great play at only 6.1K. He has not really hit his stride yet at Sevilla, to be fair, since his transfer over the winter window. But that being said, getting a player of his caliber for only 6K is really a good deal. This is a player that when he was with Atalanta, he was regularly priced above 8K, sometimes above 9K, and is generally a very strong DFS play. Given his floor, he loves to cross, create chances, and does have a role on corners. So again, I think he's another solid cash or optimal play. And if Gomez is out, I would look to João Jordan as his replacement. He's another player that would step up and take set pieces, especially if Gomez is not in the lineup. All right, moving on to the defender position. I think the easiest play in the slate, especially in cash builds, is Jesus Navas at 5.1K. Sevilla loves to use their fullbacks in attack to get them forward on the wings and sending crosses, and we know that Navas loves to cross the ball. He's really a DFS darling in terms of soccer DFS players. Always produces, and he's just clearly underpriced to me. This is a game that he's going to be forward a ton, crossing the ball. So he's got a 10-point floor, no problem. Love him at only 5.2K, I think it is. Okay. Second defender play is actually higher priced, and it's Juan Cuadrado from Juve. Cuadrado is priced up very high for a defender at 6.9K, but Cuadrado really plays as more of a wingback or attacking midfielder. He does also take set pieces for Juve, and he actually has implied scoring odds above 30%. So don't be fooled by the defender designation. He's a player that's going to be very involved for Juve, especially since they are trailing Porto and do need to score goals here. So I think he's a very solid cash or optimal play, just like Navas, although he is a bit more expensive. All right, moving on to the goalkeeper position. As I've said many times before, goalkeeper is the position with the most variance. It's the hardest to predict. And in second leg ties, things can go sideways very quickly as goals get scored. So it's very, very tough here to project goalkeeper scoring on this type of slate. So with that in mind, I love paying all the way down for Marquezine from Porto for only 3.8K. So with Porto leading here and Juve trailing, they are probably going to be firing in a ton of shots in an attempt to score and even up this tie. And especially when you have a player like Ronaldo who will just shoot at will, it's actually a goalkeeper's dream because it should set up the keeper for a ton of saves here. So while I don't expect Porto to win this match, I think Marquezine has the opportunity to make 5+ saves in this match. And who knows? Porto obviously have the quality to shut out or beat Juve, although I think that is a lower probability outcome. I think he's a very safe cash play, but also has a massive, massive ceiling if things play out in Porto's favor. All right, that does it for DFS plays. I'm going to hit you with a couple bets here and then send you on your way to hopefully win some money this Tuesday. So for bets, a couple that I am looking at. I like Dortmund to win and both teams to score at plus 250. So I do think Sevilla are going to score in this game. Dortmund's defense has been quite leaky this season. But on the same token, Dortmund is very dangerous on the counter. So I really think both teams are going to score here. But I think Dortmund at home, their dangerous counterattack led by Erling Haaland, who, by the way, I think is a great GPP play, as a pivot off of a high-owned Ronaldo. I think it's set up for both teams to score, but Dortmund to win. And then the second bet I'm looking at is Juve to win to nil at plus 138. Juve just have too much quality. I think the loss to Porto on the road was more of an anomaly. They're also very strong defensively at home in Italy. So I really like Juve to win this match and keep a clean sheet. So I will be betting Juve to win to nil at plus 138. Guys, thanks for tuning in and watching. I hope you found this helpful. I will note that it is only Sunday evening as I am recording this video, and there are going to be injury and news updates prior to the matches on Tuesday. So just make sure to check those lineups to make sure all of the players I have discussed are in. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Lee Snyder, and you can find my soccer content at numberball.com. Thanks, guys. Take care.